Hi, everybody. I'm Stacey Bagwell, Director of Customer Success at SmileSnap. And again with me, thank you so much, Casey Bull, the Director of Content and Community at TIO, also known as the Invisible Orthodontist. We've been doing a this is part 5 of a video series that you've been receiving from us on a weekly basis, just to give you some, quick tips to really take your virtual consults up to the next level. So we'll continue on with seamlessly integrating the virtual consult into our practice. So Casey, I'll let you take it from here.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So yeah, this is the last part to this series, and I know it's series 5, so not too sure why I have a 4 up there, but that's okay. So we're talking about closing the deal, and this is closing the deal. Honestly, what we're going to talk about can be used in in-office consultation as well as virtual, but we just thought it would be important to wrap up this series, talk about, okay, now what are some tips now that we have the virtual consult in the new patient journey? What are some tips on how to close the deal and improve conversion rates for the virtual treatment coordinator? So realistically, all objections are going to fall into one of these categories. You would be pressed to find one that is outside of this. If maybe your challenge would be, X, Y, or Z, it likely can be thrown into one of these buckets. So, which is really, really good, because that means that you can plan. You can plan if you know that their objection is going to be time, money, spouse, fear, or self-doubt. And it could be self-doubt for their own compliance or self-doubt that you can't do it, right? You can prevent these from coming up. Now, you may not have these solutions that I've put up here as a kind of trigger, but these are examples of how you are fighting back on the time because you offer remote monitoring. You are fighting back on money because you're going to make it accessible to everybody. We offer flexible financing because we want everyone in our community to get the best treatment possible. So we're going to make it affordable. Spouse, get them involved. Stop being worried about asking them, do you want to be on the video call too? Because they can log into the Zoom from anywhere. Fear. You have a smile guarantee. Don't worry, it's going to work. And if you forget to wear your retainer, we do have a retreatment option, and it's a small fee. So things like that. Self-doubt, really the only thing that you can put there is that you're going to build trust. And remember the use of video call, building that connection, is they have to trust you if they're going to be able to move forward.
These are all just such great answers. And like you said, you can plan ahead for it. I know with SmileSnap, it started out new patient platform, and then it's been so amazing to work with offices to see how they've developed it further in their office. So a lot are doing OBS visits or, growth guidance recall visits for their patients, which, it's normally that quick, by the time they drive there and park and go into the office and then park, it ends up it's like an hour commitment when it's really only a 15-minute appointment. So this has been amazing to actually have both parents on a growth guidance call too, which is amazing, so that it's not all of a sudden they've gone from no treatment to ready to start treatment. They've gone through the whole path and they know the concerns. Everyone's involved. All decision makers are involved. Same with retainer checks, let's through SmileSnap then put your retainers in, submit some photos. Any of these things that can save time. Also, again, flexible financing, like you said, addressing it from the beginning. I always tell, treatment coordinators, when they make that call to go over the treatment plan, that's one of the things they always want to address. Oh, by the way, we have such flexible financing. We'll discuss detail what will work with you. And yeah, I think you're just so spot on with fear, shame, self-doubt. That's why patients wait so long as adults to have treatment. They want to do it, but they're just insecure about going forward with it. So they've put it off for the treatment that they've wanted, they're asking you for. They've put it off for many years just for those simple reasons.
Absolutely. Or doubt that it will have the impact that they want it to have.
Yes.
Like, I don't even know, I used my mom in the last, in a previous segment, so I'll use it again. She was concerned that actually, while she had the fear that, or the insecurity that she looks like she has an overbite when she smiles, even though she doesn't have an overbite, she was fearful that, well, I don't know if this will work or if I actually need to get, you know, veneers or what have you. So self-doubt can go a lot of different ways, and it's your responsibility to build that trust. And there's a lot of different mechanisms that you can use to build trust, like that personal trust through the video call. The smile simulation is what did it for my mom, and seeing, oh my gosh, wow, actually that does, you could actually even see the shadowing in the before and not in the after in the simulation. So a lot of these things, you can actually, not a lot of these things, all of these things you can prevent. And instead of having the mindset of, look, people are just shopping, it is what it is. Change your mindset and say, I can prevent these, and then be proactive as to how you're going to do it. And that's where you need to look at the full experience. And so it happens before, during, and after the consultation, or even the new patient journey, if we look at that. Because before, you have education through leadership in your community, you have what you have on your website, in your reviews. All of those are opportunities to educate patients on any one of those. The way that you pre-screen, maybe transition that to pre-excite. I'm not qualifying you to see if you deserve an in-office consultation. This is our process because we want to deliver a better experience to all of our patients. I'm so excited for you to do this, because, you know, that is how you need to have that mindset to start building that trust and saving them time. Again, think of the objections so that your spouse can be on it as well. You know, all these things can be part of the before and the pre-excitement.
And I'm going to stop you right there on the before. That, Casey, you just nailed it on getting beyond the pre-screen. We're doing this for you so you can get excited, because we can already tell you things that's going to motivate you to go to the next step, whether it's pointing out through the photos or telling about the financing, or, you know, we know you're busy. We offer all these other things to make it convenient where you're not in the office, you know, once a month. So I love that you said about pre-exciting. That's amazing. That's so, everyone needs to hear that.
Yes, I agree. So we have to think about that. And that maybe isn't controlled by the virtual treatment coordinator. So you may need to train, if your entire admin team is taking new patient calls, they all need to be trained and on board with this. Or you can take, I know some practices have taken some control and say that there's certain people in the practice who can take a new patient call because they're trained on that pre-excitement factor. So just make sure that that's done with intention, and it's not like here's the process that you have to follow because all of our patients do a virtual consult, so this is how you have to do it.
Right. They can hear it in your voice too, how you say it, so.
Yeah, did you see the change in my tone or hear the change?
I was like, well, I don't want to do that. No.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Everybody does virtual consult, so you got to do a virtual consult. Absolutely. And then during the process, so now that you've been introduced, whether it's even through text, you can build trust, deciding on how you want to do your canned messaging and even automated emails, honestly, and automated text. You can build trust through the way that you communicate, and by trying to find genuine interest in that person, or communicating genuine interest in that person. When you're talking about the patient's story, and I know we use the script of, other than that, is there anything else? A lot of people, and it could be because we're pressed for time, I do recognize that in that 1 hour, but they don't dive deep enough into the story. And when you don't dive deep enough into the story, you can provide a solution and reasons for the solution that aren't necessarily appropriate. So, you can kind of open mouth, insert foot a little bit that says, we can fix this. I'm like, well, I like that. Or I didn't know that was an issue. I actually want this. So you really need to spend time on building that story. Again, building the trust, understand the story and getting to know them, so that when you do provide a solution and reasons for the solution, they're like, oh my gosh, Stacey gets me. Stacey gets me. Dr. John gets me. I'm really excited. This is the practice for me, because they are not providing the same braces, align your treatment to all their patients. This is customized for me. And then you have the after, right? You have your follow-up process, how you schedule your starts, all of that, again, goes to trust. you know, one of the main things that people get concerned about with follow-up and same-day start is being too pushy. And if you feel like you're being pushy, probably the way you're communicating it is in a way that you may not nurture that trust and that comfort. And so as long as you understand the patient's story, what their potential objections are, which if you understand the story enough, you will know what their objections are. They won't need to tell you, because you're going to know their story and say, oh, I've been shopping around for a long time, and I get that I need to do this, but it's just so expensive right now. And I've worked so hard. I don't have the time. They've told you, you know, so you already know the objections, but the way that you communicate during that follow-up process and asking for the start or assuming the start is going to have a major impact on their comfort level of moving forward.
I think that's so important too, as you said. It's your presentation too. So you can assume the start, which I encourage has always worked, you know, fairly well, especially once you've built up and you've addressed everything. Actually, it's worked really well once you've addressed all their concerns up front.
Exactly.
You've anticipated those and even addressed them before they realized what they were telling you by what they were telling you. Then we're doing this for the patient, the same day start. It's a convenience. Let's save you time from coming in, especially we've done the virtual consultation already. I know how to efficiently plan your visit when you come in, so we make the most of the time while you're in the office. So it's just really important, like you said, addressing all of those concerns up front.
Absolutely. That's it. It's the timing. It's the timing. It's you skipped the step. You don't know the patient story and you're going for the same day start.
Right.
That's not going to work. You have to go through the process. You have to understand their story, what they're about, what their potential objections are. And then it's just natural. It'll go right into it.
It's so 100%. Natural, and it doesn't feel uncomfortable at all too. It's, you know, I know when first started, I was a TC, and then it felt forced because I didn't know what I was doing when I first started. You know, you're all just kind of like thrown in there in the deep end, going for it. And now it's just like, it seems so unnatural not to offer a same day start with how busy people are and what's, you know, going on in the world, and they've already come so far. It's just the natural step to do it. And if you, like you said, if you address everything, you've done all the steps ahead of time, it's natural for the patient as well to be expecting that to be a same day start.
Especially if you've done the video call, and as part of the video call, you're saying, okay, so we're going to schedule you for an in-office exam and to start your treatment.
Yes.
Then once again, you're building that trust because they know what to expect. You're not like throwing it on them like, oh, by the way, here's the contract. You know, you're preparing them for that. I think it's super important. So, and I know we didn't talk about like the very, very specifics of what to do in the video call, because I do believe that it varies per practice based off of what they're doing at all of the other steps leading up to the video call. But yes, I think that the assuming the start and getting them to do the same day start and all of that kind of stuff, it's all about timing. And if you've done the pre-excitement, you're gonna get them on the video call. If they're excited about it, even if they have other opinions, they're excited about seeing you. Exactly. They're gonna be there. Mm-hmm. And then if you understand their story and they feel like you get them, they will come in for that in-office consultation and they will start. It's just about going through the steps. If you jump too fast, that's when you've lost them.
Right, right.
So to wrap up the 5-part series, VTCs must own the whole new patient journey from that lead capture stage. Now, I get that the VTC won't necessarily take every single new patient call, but they are getting the Smile Snap inquiries. And so somewhere in the practice, if those new patient calls are being funneled to Smile Snap, at some point the VTC needs to be aware of those. Mm-hmm. You need to follow up often, and you need to have a process that you can consistently execute. You're going to use that video call to build a connection with the patient and not introduce new information. You can talk about fees and treatment recommendations if you've already delivered that in an email prior. You're going to get the right setup, whether that's with software, with a mic, webcam, green screen, all of that kind of stuff. And then you're going to plan ahead for those objections. And I probably should have put this, you're going to plan ahead, and that could be through training of other team members and how to pre-excite and how to do that follow-up.
All great, amazing information, Casey. I cannot thank you enough for doing this web series with me. Again, if you've not checked out Casey, she is featured in the September issue of Ortho Town. Everything that we discussed is in written format there. So everybody check out September's Ortho Town for Casey Bull. And also Global Director of Content and Community at TIO. So this is Casey at theinvisibleortho.com. Please reach out to her with any questions. She's been so kind to help us and our Small Snap customers. And I'm always excited about the information that you have to share as again, you're a leading expert in virtual consultations. So we're just happy to have you here. And if you guys have any questions for me, Stacey at smallsnap.com. I look forward to speaking with you all. Thanks, Casey.
Thanks so much, Stacey. It's been really fun. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to more.
Me too. It was so fun. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.